It's a lovely Sunday afternoon. You're kneeling on the edge of an overgrown garden bed, shrubs strangling your favorite plants. And then you're hit. Immense pain ensues, delivered by the most notorious member of the Australian spider family, the Sydney funnel web.
You'll get raised blood pressure, your eyes will run, your nose will run, pain around the bite site, the muscles will squirm.
The Sydney funnel web contains lethal toxic venom that, left untreated, could mean the end of your life. This aggressive predatory spider will not shy away from a fight if under threat, rearing up and attacking, deftly delivering an intensely painful bite with fangs long enough to pierce human skin. The good news is that since the antivenom was developed in 1981, no deaths have been recorded. However, prior to this, 13 people met their fate from the fangs of the Sydney funnel web. Within 30 minutes, the lethal toxic cocktail surges through your lymphatic system. You'll feel nauseous, you'll experience profuse sweating, weakness of the muscles, and difficulty breathing. If you don't get to a hospital immediately for a shot of life-saving antivenom, you're in for a world of trouble.
Funnel webs have a particular toxin in their venom that targets channels on nerves, and it's quite specific to insects and primates, interestingly enough. And that causes the nerves to overfire, to be overactive, and this causes vastly increased blood pressure, and people generally die from fluid on the lungs or hemorrhaging.
Dr. David Wilson is a research scientist and heads up a team of dedicated researchers studying these deadly creatures.
One of the interesting things about funnel webs is that they don't need much air, and they can trap air bubbles on their body if they fall into water. So particularly around Sydney during the mating season, males will frequently fall into swimming pools and look like they're dead at the bottom of the pool. People will scoop them out and put them on the side of the pool, and then half an hour later the spider will be gone, and they'll think that a bird got it, but it's actually the spider's recovered and wandered off.
Encounters with humans in urban areas are not a rarity. However, the Sydney funnel web's preferred hangout is underground.
Funnel webs eat insects and small lizards, frogs, that kind of thing, but their favourite food is millipedes. They catch the millipedes by waiting in the top of their burrow for the millipede to walk across the web trip lines at the top of the burrow. When they detect that, they'll rush out and grab it and inject it with venom and pull it back into their burrow.
It is the venom of the male Sydney funnel web that contains a unique toxic cocktail that wreaks havoc on the nervous system of insects, humans, and primates alike, but not of other mammals. This is a creature of weird science. Fascinating and intriguing, the Sydney funnel web is one of 36 species of funnel webs distributed up and down the east coast of Australia. It is also the most deadly. Its dark, glossy body, growing up to 5 centimeters in length, has a blanket of fine hairs on the undercarriage of its thorax and legs. These fine hairs are used to sense vibrations in the air, alerting the spider when to attack and when to defend. On top of this, they have a great ability to survey all their surroundings.
Their eyes are on the top of their head, so when they rear up, they're actually looking behind themselves.
Although not as dangerous to humans, the female of the species takes no prisoners when it comes to love and reproduction. She is cunning, spending most of her 25-year lifespan within her burrow, patiently awaiting prey and lovers. On reaching sexual maturity between 5 and 7 years, the male leaves his burrow by night in search of female companionship. This mystifying moonlight romance, one way or another, always ends in death.
They can die either before they mate, or after they've mated, or during mating.
Putting this concept to the test, picture 2 lethal funnel webs placed in a glass tank. A female at one end, a male at the other, separated by a perforated divider, allowing only the transfer of pheromones.
I left them for a week, and he was up and down the divider, and she just stayed in her burrow. And so I took the divider out.
The question is, does it end in love?
He crept over and he was tapping on her web, and he got closer and closer and closer. And he got 2 legs in the front of her burrow, and she just rushed up, absolutely poleaxed him through the middle of his thorax.
No, it ends in tragedy.
She absolutely annihilated him.
Encouraging breeding may provide vital information regarding behavior and reproduction of this species, but this is not the only study Dr. David Wilson and his team are working on. Vital research is taking place in the study of the complex components that make up the highly toxic venom of the funnel-web spider.
We're collecting venom from Australian tarantulas and funnel-web spiders to look through the components and see if we can find potential therapeutic lead, particularly in the treatment of breast cancer.
This research is in its infancy, but already harboring some incredible results.
Milking venom from a funnel web is quite easy because all you need to do is annoy them and they'll rear back and expel the venom out onto the fang tips, and then it's just a matter of collecting it with a little aspiration device.
These deadly Australian arachnids, living silently in moist, cool burrows, veiled behind a funnel-shaped silken web, are not only one of the most revered and feared creepy crawlies on the planet, but may hold a toxic key to the development of future medical breakthroughs. But do beware. Who knows what's lurking in your garden bed, poised to strike and send you on an intense journey of pain.